Good morning, my people. I was thinking about our continued learning and realizing that after today, we only have 5 weeks left. There's so much that I still want to teach you, and so little time that we all have left together. But my favorite part of where we are in the year right now is that it's starting to get warmer outside, which means we can start doing more and more experiments outside. I'm excited to film outside. I'm excited for you to be able to get out of the house and discover some really cool things about science while soaking up some vitamin D. That being said, today is a little gross in the weather department, so you might have to locate yourself in a bathtub or on the kitchen floor or somewhere else in your house that is okay to get wet for this experiment today. Your job was to read and watch some different news pieces and determine the key facts about them, right? Who and what and when and where and why. And then at the very end of those three news pieces, what was the connection between all of them? Now, stealing from a few students' summaries of what was common between all of those news pieces, right? All of those disastrous events. I heard words like earthquake and tsunami and even disaster or destroyed or devastation. And those of you who put words down like that, you are exactly right. Whether it was the tsunami in 2004 that hit Southeast Asia really hard, right? 13 countries experiencing massive devastation and a high number of deaths, or the tsunami in 2011 that caused that Fukushima nuclear disaster in Japan, or even the threat of a tsunami off the west coast of the United States because of a really, really big fault line in the Pacific Ocean. The root cause of all of these disasters, or potential disasters, is an earthquake. So if we know that earthquakes trigger tsunamis, let's think just a little bit about those earthquakes then. I want you to rewind in your head back to last week, and you're going to complete this sentence in your ISN. Earthquakes are caused by... Now, last week, we talked about continental and continental plates converging and oceanic and continental plates converging, but what about oceanic and oceanic plates? So what I want you to do right now is I want you to pop on a song, I want you to pause the video, and you're going to take just a little drawing break here, and I want you to sketch a diagram of two oceanic plates converging underwater. We've talked about earthquakes being what triggers tsunamis, but we're going to generalize just a little bit because earthquakes are not the only thing that happens on the ocean floor, right? We could have a volcanic eruption, we could have an underwater landslide, and we could have an earthquake. And earthquakes are actually the most common causes of tsunamis. Now, we're going to go ahead and model what happens when there's an earthquake underwater, but you're going to need to grab just a few materials before we can do that. You'll need a big plastic bin, and a clear one works best for visibility, but really any old plastic bin would be just fine. You need to make sure that bin is filled with water, and I'm actually going to color that water with food coloring because we'll be able to see the movement of water just a little bit better. It would be helpful for you to have some type of phone camera or camera that has a slow-mo capability. And then you're going to need to head to a place where lots of water can get splashed. So once you have your bucket filled, your job is to create a big old disruption in your seafloor, and you're going to observe the path of that water's energy. I'm going to go ahead and model this for you so that if you don't have materials at home, you can still see what happens. As those two plates or shampoo bottles converge, I want you to notice what happens with the water. This all was a little quick, so let's slow it down just a little bit so we can actually trace the path of the energy through the water. As we're watching this in slow-mo, I want you to go ahead and in your ISN on that diagram that you sketched, go ahead and trace the path of energy through the water that you observe. Off to the side, I want you to complete these sentences. When the water is first disrupted, it moves. Then the force of blank pulls the water back. And because of the energy in the system, the water then moves. Now, water moves crazy fast in the deep blue sea, like 500 miles an hour fast, but obviously it's not coming in at 500 miles an hour when it hits the shore. I mean, what's going on there? We're not going to find out today, but find out this next Monday on our next installment of Natural Disasters, Tsunamis. For your points today, I want you to go ahead and take a picture of those sentences that are off to the side of your diagram as well as your diagram, and you're going to go ahead and submit that picture, all right? Hey, I love you guys, I miss you guys, and I hope you have a great weekend. See you guys Monday.